Greek death metal comes with a band called Agos. Previously unknown band to me. This one was already released in 2018. So once again, going through my backlog because this was sent already quite a few months ago. But being kind of old, it had to wait its turn. Now this is a release by 3 different labels, which I will mention you in a little bit. And it features quite nice mythical kind of a cover. This one is of modern death metal. One could even say blackened death, but I wouldn't go as far to say black death like it is mentioned in Metal Archives always. They are up for debate, up for opinion, to say whatever you want, but in my opinion this is more about modern death metal with a kind of a darker feeling. And as you can see, Satanath, Deathhammer and Heathen Tribes have done kind of collaboration to release it. I truly don't know why, but here it goes anyway. And let's take a look at the Metal Archive site with the band called Agos. Founded in 2014, this band is now out with a EP, and this one, and as you can see, already released in 2018. There is a couple of versions out already, and this one is 43 minutes in total length, which is there just like pretty lengthy songs when it comes to death metal. But when we're talking about kind of a modern death metal, which I think is the case here, kind of a typical thing. Now, this band has been compared to names such as Behemoth and Nile, among others. And to be honest, I kind of agree. I mean, if you take a look at this list, it's kind of a black death or just black metal. But in my opinion, there's nothing really which kind of indicates this being black metal. What I would rather say is this is very much closer to Nile and the death metal phases of Behemoth with its style. That is the kind of a modern death metal which has these sample parts which are rather sort of ethnic nature, which then again I guess are tied to these themes here: death, mythology, Sumerian civilization, occult and the like. And in so many ways, this seems to be the kind of a Greek version, or shall we say, Sumerian version of what Nile is doing with their Egyptian themes. But this is not so far taken. Rather, if I were to compare this even more to Nile, I would say this is like the first parts of Nile, when they were just kind of opening the doors to this Egyptian themed death metal. And what it seems to be with Agos' case, they are also just opening the doors and doing their very first album with the kind of music that reminds me of these early steps. So definitely something atypical for a death metal band, but still kind of safe. So it's not going so boldly to these worlds of samples and weird musical themes which are quite far from death metal. That is, once again, I'm talking about these Niles, Nile's use of choirs and majestic orchestrated elements. So Agos is not that far. It's very much closer to kind of a traditional death metal or blackened death metal. So it's focusing on death metal, but having these kind of quirky ideas, which are actually nice, but it's kind of too scared to go beyond. I mean, it's more like, should we go overboard it or should we just play it safe? And this is definitely on the play it safe side. And while there's nothing wrong with it, it kind of makes this rather dull at some points. So once again, the atmosphere is here pretty cool because it's kind of a dark and it gives you this indication that like something majestic is about to happen. But once you're through with the album, you kind of realize nothing that really happened. And this might be actually sounding quite negative about the album, but I must say, I must underline it, that I really like this atmosphere. Even though this album can be quite dull with its kind of a monotone, growly vocals and it kind of similar songs that is nothing really changes throughout the course, this is still something that is definitely worthwhile listening to. Just don't expect too much and you're pretty safe to go. So what, in my opinion, Agos is doing is a kind of a promise of solid stuff to come. And this is just the first step when the gates are open. It's not there yet, but then again, neither was Behemoth or Nile. with their first albums. So in case you're not afraid of blackened death metal with kind of a occult and mythological themes, go forward with Agos. It's kind of an interesting band to check out. So here it is. Go check it out. Check out the samples and let me know what you think. See you soon. Bye bye.